Coming up on Around San Diego, the city of San Diego launches a new trash service portal. We'll break down what you need to know. Plus, an update to a downtown building owned by the city that's been closed since 2019. And San Diego is moving forward with a plan to charge for parking around Balboa Park. Hello to you and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us as we take you around San Diego. I'm CBS 8's Jenny Day, and I'll get you caught up on a week's worth of news, and we'll look ahead in less than 30 minutes. We begin with your garbage. There are a lot of changes coming to trash pickup in the city of San Diego. There's a new online portal, but some are finding it confusing, so we are here to help. Our Abby Black is working for you, getting answers straight from the city.
Nearly 2 weeks after the city of San Diego launched its residential waste collection services portal, people have been flooding our newsroom with a lot of questions. We're working for you on these concerns so your questions don't pile up.
Can I get my smaller container now? Can I keep my old container?
These are the exact questions the city's Environmental Services Department is fielding daily, and so is our newsroom. But there's another big hurdle.
Some people have tried logging into the new portal and asked, I don't have the information to log in.
Working for you, we discovered you need this specific mailer before you can start. The city began sending these out last week.
In this yellow section, it'll give you your APN and your unique code.
That APN is your assessor parcel number. The unique code is generated by the city specifically for the portal. Now, once you have this mailer, you can log on to westportal.sandiego.gov. We sat down with Environmental Services Assistant Director Jeremy Bauer, who walked us through the process. After creating your account, you'll select your trash bin size.
People should select what they have now if they find that what they have now meets their needs.
Not sure about what size you have? Check the lid. Working for you, we found more about the cost. The monthly rates are based entirely on your trash bin size, not your recycling bin choice. A 35-gallon trash bin costs $32.82 per month. The 65-gallon runs $38.94, and the 95-gallon costs $43.60. Financial assistance is available. The deadline is September 30th.
If they don't go in and make a selection for themselves, we will by default deliver them one new trash at the 95-gallon size.
Everyone will see a bill of $523.20 in October on their tax bill. Credits or additional costs will be reflected in next year's tax bill. Working for you, we asked about keeping current containers. The answer is no.
These are city property. We will be collecting them and recycling them.
All bins will be replaced except green organics containers. New trash bins will be gray, recycling will be lighter blue, and delivery starts in October. If you need help signing up or financial assistance, call 858-694-7000.
We'll start delivering them in October. It will take us several months to deliver throughout the city.
Working for you will continue following this story. Abby Black, CBS 8.
Abby, thank you. And the San Diego City Council is moving forward with parking meters near Balboa Park. City leaders approved 300 new metered spots along 6th Avenue and Park Boulevard. They will cost $2.50 an hour for a maximum then of 4 hours. But it's not just around Balboa. Officials are now working on another proposal to charge for parking inside the park too. They will take that up in September. But some residents who rely on the currently free spots say the city should focus on other ways to generate funds.
They should focus on maybe the people who are going through the stop signs without stopping, or drunk driving, or all the other various traffic infringements that are happening, but God forbid we have free parking.
Yeah, these new meters will be installed in September with paid parking starting October 1st. And the San Diego City Council is also moving forward with a new lease agreement to turn 101 Ash Street into affordable housing. The city bought out the downtown building's lease in 2022 after asbestos contamination forced it to close in 2019. The developer says it will cost $40 million to clean it all out, and construction could start in the spring. Well, trash, debris, and growing encampments along our freeways have been a major issue for years. Now, for the first time, City of San Diego crews are stepping in thanks to a deal with Caltrans that changes the way these problem spots are handled. CBS 8's Brian White has those details.
Yeah, this new deal with Caltrans allows city crews to cut through the red tape, go onto state property around some of our freeways, and clear this stuff out.
Crews working to remove trash and remnants of encampments here along the I-5 freeway in East Village. Before moving in, 48-hour notices are posted, and San Diego police outreach officers offer shelter and services.
We're in charge of the city streets around it, but just on the other side, just inches, feet over, you have the state right-of-way, which we were not able to access before.
The one-year pilot program covers 5 miles of freeway, cutting through downtown, Little Italy, East Village, Sherman Heights, and more. The state will reimburse the city up to $400,000 for cleanup costs.
It just seems like that whole area has been neglected.
In May, I showed you one of the most complained about and visible encampments on the Pershing Drive on-ramp to I-5 next to one of San Diego's safe sleeping sites. Today, I talked with a woman who lives in North Park and drives by here every day.
Piles and piles and piles of trash everywhere. Tents everywhere, in every little nook and cranny that's an open space.
As you see here, some of the encampments in this area were cleared out recently, but other sites like this steep embankment here are more challenging and will take more coordination.
You can see there's a couple encampments, 1, 2 right here. There is no safe spot to get a packer, a cleaning crew in here without having to shut a lane down and have a safe area to do your work.
This program could be renewed after a year if it proves effective, but for people living nearby, the hope is that it leads to something more than just a temporary fix.
What is the solution, and where are these people going? If they just kick them out and don't do anything to prevent them from coming back, it's going to be an endless cycle.
Since the deal was struck last week, a handful of people have been placed in local shelters, while the majority have refused services, and city crews have cleared more than 8 tons of debris. Brian White, CBS 8.
Brian, thank you. Well, getting to San Diego International Airport is now different for some travelers. A new road to the airport opened up, and we are working for you to break down what you need to know. So the road runs parallel to North Harbor Drive and serves only those coming from downtown, not from Point Loma. It's designed to minimize congestion and create a quicker drive.
The new on-airport roadway has no intersections and no lights, so it will take people directly to Terminal 1 and Terminal 2 much quicker than it has in the past.
Yeah, you can access the road through North Harbor Drive just west of West Laurel Street. Once you turn onto it, you are locked in and can't get off until it takes you straight to those terminals, though, just so you know. The road is part of the Terminal 1 overhaul, and it's estimated it will take 45,000 cars off North Harbor Drive every day. And you might have noticed new speed limit signs going up in neighborhoods across the city of San Diego. It's part of an effort targeting nearly a dozen high crash traffic corridors, including University Avenue, parts of Ocean Beach, and El Cajon Boulevard in Talmadge. The changes are a result of a 2022 state law which allows cities to prioritize safety over traffic flow when setting speed limits. City leaders expect to release a comprehensive speed management plan by the end of the year. And right now, there are some closures as Pepper Park in National City gets an $8 million upgrade. The fishing pier and restrooms are closed just for the next week or so. Then parts of the open green space that will be closed until the park is complete in January. The Port of San Diego is installing a splash pad, a pirate playground, a picnic area, and a perched beach area. The boat launch, though, will remain open all throughout construction. Well, the family of a 12-year-old girl who was hit and killed by a jet ski in Mission Bay is filing a federal wrongful death lawsuit against the Coast Guard and Army Corps of Engineers. In July of 2023, Savannah Peterson was paddleboarding when she was hit by a jet ski going up to 53 miles per hour. Her family claims the agencies failed to properly separate high-speed watercraft areas from swimmers and paddleboarders with clear signage and safety barriers. The person operating the jet ski previously pleaded guilty to vehicular manslaughter and did serve jail time. A separate wrongful death lawsuit filed by her family remains ongoing in state court. Well, the center, a nonprofit in Hillcrest that's been helping people in the LGBTQ community for more than a half a century, could be forced to lay off employees. That is if the federal government cuts its funding. Nothing official yet, but leaders at the LGBTQ center sent a letter to employees earlier this month letting them know that layoffs are a real possibility. If the federal government cuts are what's expected, the center could lose about 30% of its funding. We heard from people who have benefited from the services the center provides.
I think this place is awesome. They deserve a lot of credit, and their resources are phenomenal and second to none. I've been, struggling with financial issues myself, and without this place, I don't know what I would do.
Leaders say layoffs could happen as soon as September, but again, still unconfirmed. The center employs about 100 people. Well, a wounded San Diego veteran gets the surprise of a lifetime. Coming up next, see the special gift he's being honored with at Petco Park. Well, now to an update on a story we brought you last week about a local artist trying to crack a cold case at Comic-Con. That artist, Joe Mullins, used a 3D printed skull and clay to create a sculpture of a toddler whose remains were found but never identified. This was the final product. After we first aired these images, we got multiple calls from viewers saying it looked similar to Jahi Turner. Jahi was just 2 years old when he disappeared from a Golden Hill playground in 2002. Despite an exhaustive search, his body has still never been found. His stepdad was charged with murder but not convicted due to a mistrial. But following inquiries from our viewers, Joe reached out to the San Diego Medical Examiner's office, and he was told that Jahi's DNA has been in a national database since 2004, but it hasn't matched with any unidentified remains, including the case that he's working on.
So they got DNA from the case that we were working on at Comic-Con. The 2 to 3 year olds would have been put in the system, and it didn't kick back any results. So that's with Jahi beat in that database, he's already eliminated.
Yeah, and while it's certainly not the ending some viewers had hoped for, the artist there tells us that he does appreciate the renewed interest in both cases, saying the families of every missing or unidentified child deserves to have closure. And a San Diego Marine veteran wounded in the line of duty received a special gift this week honoring his service and sacrifice. Freedom Alliance and U.S. Bank teamed up with the Padres to present Corporal Carlos Torres with a brand new truck. Torres says he joined the military in response to the 9/11 terror attacks. In 2001, while on patrol in Afghanistan, he stepped on an IED. He lost both legs, had to have his elbow fused, and suffered a traumatic brain injury. But none of that stopped him. He has hand cycled in marathons and even summited the highest active volcano in the world. The gift is recognition of all he's achieved and his remarkable resilience.
What's the best part?
The best part is, again, just having the entire support system here, friends, family, new friends that I've made throughout the way, just kind of seeing the support that, my service to my country has generated. It's truly a blessing, and it's huge.
Oh, so humble and grateful. Torres also received a Purple Heart and was named Marine of the Year. Here at CBS 8, we do extend our deepest thanks to Corporal Torres for his service and sacrifice. And the Padres, speaking of them, made a series of trade deadline deals to help them in the final push toward the playoffs. Let's go. The Friars got flame-throwing closer Mason Miller and starting pitcher J.P. Sears from the Athletics. They gave up a couple of top prospects, including Leo DeVries, ranked among the best prospects in all of baseball. In separate deals with 4 different teams, the Padres got first baseman Ryan O'Hearn, outfielder Ramon Laureano, catcher Freddie Fermin, infielder Will Wagner, and pitcher Nestor Cortez. We're all gonna know them soon, hopefully very soon. They gave up a lot of prospects though, starting with pitcher Stephen Kolek and Ryan Berger. Let's go Padres. All right, coming up next, the important message from a local scientist who is featured in a new Netflix series about sharks. Well, Netflix is hoping to reel you in with a new series that is aiming to help people look at sharks through a different lens. A local scientist is among those featured in the show. He talked with CBS 8's Neda Iranpour about photographing sharks while camera crews then followed him. And he shares an important message about our oceans in this Earth 8 report.
6 locations. Their mission? Find and photograph as many sharks as possible. Every shark caught on camera earns you points.
I'm a marine biologist, and so that's got to give us a competitive advantage.
All the Sharks, the latest Netflix series capturing incredible video of our oceans as teams compete for the most rarest shark encounters. But it only counts if they snap a photo. One of the stars of the show, Brendan Talwar, a postdoc at UC San Diego's Scripps Institution of Oceanography, when an email from a show producer changed his life.
When you got that email, were you like, absolutely, I'm in, or how was that? No,
Okay. No, not at all. You know, I think like many scientists, when we get an email like that, we're pretty reluctant to jump on board because, like, Chris and I don't want to be a part of a show that has the hook of fear. You know, because we see these animals as beautiful and important parts of healthy, thriving marine ecosystems.
Brendan and Chris Malinowski, his longtime college buddy from Florida State, joined forces dubbed Shark Docs.
Some of these species are really well camouflaged and you really have to work for them.
One of the most difficult took them 2 days, frantically searching under coral ledges. The elusive woebegone.
It's very cute. Its tail always curls at the end, and I saw that as I swam by and then came closer and was like, oh yeah, found you.
Yeah, buddy, wishing success. Brendan has a fondness and deep respect for these creatures, and he hopes viewers feel the same.
Mike Clarkson, the producer who put this whole thing together, his whole thing is like the U.S. audience doesn't watch something like Blue Planet, you know? But the U.S. audience loves Desperate Housewives, okay? So how can you package science and conservation into this nice little box that's going to appeal to a broad audience that maybe otherwise wouldn't want to learn about sharks or rays?
They did just that with scoreboards and drama, as subtle conservation messages deepen people's knowledge of these threatened species.
Not to be a Debbie Downer here, but we've lost about half of all sharks on Earth in the last 50 or 60 years. We have to maximize time. About a third of shark species and even higher percentage of ray species are considered threatened with extinction.
This series explains how sharks are not just predators, they're protectors.
It's wonderful to go to these places and demonstrate what healthy marine ecosystems can look like, but I really want to emphasize that that is not normal. And that's the same here locally. Like this marine reserve off La Jolla is an exceptional place. These ecosystems are something to treasure and protect.
As for Brendan's biggest behind-the-scenes challenge,
we were bouncing between like summer in the northern hemisphere and winter in the southern hemisphere. We were freezing, you know, because you're diving and then you're out and then you're doing interviews, but you're constantly on the move, so you want to get back in the water, so then you snorkel, you miss lunch, you forget to eat, you know, and you're just shivering nonstop. So that was, that sounds kind of lame, but honestly, yeah, we were cold.
I can relate to, I mean, we're San Diegans, we don't want to be cold.
Now back home in San Diego, Brendan's newfound fame has him talking sharks with fans of all ages. For Earth 8 in La Jolla, I'm Netta Iranpour.
Those images are so incredible, and yes, we have to coexist. All right, and we didn't want to give away the winner of this series. You'll have to watch it for yourself. The 6-part series is now on Netflix. We also did an extended interview with Brendan Talwar, and where he talks about his favorite moments. You can catch that right now on our free streaming channel, CBS 8+. That will do it for us. Thank you so much for your time. As always, take care.